was with somebody who I care about deeply. And then we're having a conversation about homophobia. And I'm like, do you understand that when you say these things, that it has real consequences, you know? It creates a climate where people pass laws that kill people and all of that. And I was trying to make an emotional point. I'm like, that's not the other day. This is an excellent human being, full of empathy, love, kindness, all of that. And I just had a young boy in Kano, in Kaduna or something, was almost killed the other day. She said her hair now.
Wow. I'm not even surprised though, but...
it's just, my heart sank. Not for the macro wickedness, but that how could you say this kind of a thing? It's it must be confusing for many people who are either queer or queer affirming to just see this kind of like Jekyll and Hyde in people that they know are generally kind people. Anyway, let's talk about the book. So what made me gasp, and you have to read the book to get this, but the first story, The Dreamer's Litany. First of all, the first thing was, you talked about, and this is weird, this is the mindfuckery. You talk about Igbo arrogance, so a lot of things were happening in the story.
Yeah.
That's when I first knew that, okay, this guy he's not here to explain himself to anybody. This guy, he just mentioned it, and I'm like, did he just mention that? First of all, you brought out the elephant in the room because, I'm an Igbo person, even though I always joke that we Delta Igbos are the refined Igbo. I'm Igbo person. And we know that. We talk about ourselves. Igbo come here and say, my proud Igbo father. So 3 questions in. Well, let me make it because this is my job. First question, was that a conscious thing to introduce that fleshing out of that Igbo character? Secondly, were you worried, and I think you've answered this before, but more to the point, that people might blink and miss this fleshing out of this character, and then thought that what was important for you, for this story to have that fullness of what Igbo people know amongst themselves, and when people criticize them, they're like, don't say it.
Like, for me, like, a writer I admire had once said that, like, I think it was in a workshop, and she was like, see, don't think your readers are idiots. I think that is the biggest mistake you're going to make, which assume that people who are reading you are intelligent people. And so, like, once you come with that assumption, you're like, okay, then I don't have to explain everything in details. I can like use suggestion as a tool, to show what I'm trying to say. And so, like, with that, I remember the scene you're talking about, and I remember, like, the first draft of that story, I had sent it to a friend of mine, Bolanho, and he was like, when he sent his feedback, he was like, Arinze, I was going to say Nigerians are going to crucify you, but then I remembered you're an Igbo boy.
The first guy, look, okay, it's an Igbo boy, okay.